Hello everyone, this is Architect Krishna Dinesh from the Chai or Coffee Show in conversation with Anai Design Studio. Hello Gayatri, thank you so much for being on our show and I'm hoping for an insightful dialogue today.
Thank you so much, Krishna, for having me over.
One of the most interesting thing that I found about your studio was your name. So the name Anai is very unique, right? So what is the story behind it?
So Anai stands for elephants, and that's basically why we named it Anai Design Studio, because we are elephant lovers. And there are two parts to it. In olden times, elephants were used a lot to carry around wooden logs, and we kind of want to give a tribute to elephants. That is one thing. And second thing is that it is Ana plus I, and the I actually stands for customization, because we are mostly into custom design studio. We are like into customization, so that's why.
I think that's a wonderful thought behind the name of your studio. How did your studio start?
Okay, so I had been practicing architecture for around 3 years, and as a designer and as an architect, I always felt that once, the kind of detailing we get into while even designing a door, we do a lot of detailing and we finally finish the space and we end up, trying to find furniture that can go into the space. And in most times, custom furniture was not really an option, like, bringing carpenters to the site and getting anything other than the fixed furniture made was quite a challenge. So that is where, we thought of having Anai as a studio, which, because it's also run by designers and we can, correlate with other designers and understand how and what kind of furniture they need. So that's how we got into this whole space of customizing furniture for the space and for the user specifically. So that's how we started Anai.
Okay. I think that's a wonderful design approach that you already have, right? So on this note, I want to ask you, how do you actually go about the design? Whether do you start the design on the drawing board and then adapt it to a space, or whether you take cues from a space and then start designing?
Okay. So we actually start with the user. So we have really long conversations with the user as to why they need that particular piece of furniture in the space that they have. So first we look at the user, then we look at the space, and then we kind of correlate, many times there are other pieces in the room that we need to kind of have a dialogue with. Like anything that you design cannot be independent of the context. So it's the same idea that we have, when we design a space architecturally, that I've kind of brought into designing a piece of furniture. So we look at the user, we look at the space, and then finally we derive something based on functionality. So yeah, these are our main key concerns when we, design this. So that's how the process goes.
So do you just focus on furniture design, or are you planning to expand to other fields of design as well?
We're already doing, interior and architecture design. So it's not just furniture design. We do both interiors and architecture as well. But our core focus is actually furniture design, because at the heart of what we do is custom furniture designing, and architecture and interiors we take up one project at a time so that we can dedicate our time to that and do justice to it as well.
Yeah, so as you said, functionality is one aspect. The other important thing that as designers we look into is materials, right? So what are the materials that you use and how do you go about choosing them?
So we mainly work with natural materials like wood and cane. If you see, most of our furniture is actually, we try to keep it as light and breezy as possible with a combination of sleek teak structures and rattan, because that's what we really think can add a character to the space. But a lot of times we derive, the material from the existing space. So if there are like rosewood furniture and, a lot of hardwood happening, so we try to at least stain the wooden furniture to the same color so that it goes with the space and does not look like, that's the whole purpose of customization, right? So yeah, it's mostly natural materials that we use.
Yeah, it's interesting that you spoke about natural materials. So we have a lot of these terms going on around us, right? Like sustainability and resilience and recycle and reuse. So what is your take on sustainability?
So my take on sustainability is this: we have to make furniture that is useful to you and also can be passed on to the next generation in some form. It doesn't have to be, the same thing. So many a times we design, say, wardrobes that can be turned into bookshelves. So we try to, get innovative in such ways. We use natural materials, and a key aspect of what we do is that we do not have any ready stock that we are trying to sell off. So that happens a lot, and there's a lot of wastage when you follow a process where you design and keep and then try to push the inventory that you have. But what we do is it's made for the space, so and everything is tailor made, which in itself is a sustainable approach. It's just like building a house versus buying an apartment, so it's that kind of a theory that we have.
Of late, I think the way we work is moving increasingly towards collaborations. So does your work and practice work with collaborations, or how does it work?
Yes, I completely agree that collaboration is the way forward, because I think through collaborations we come up with something beautiful, something more meaningful. And as a custom design studio, we also work a lot with other architects and interior designers, because the dialogue there is very interesting, and most times we come up with things together that we would never have done individually. So I think collaboration is definitely the way forward. A majority of our clients are actually architects and designers because of this collaborative approach that we take.
Yeah, so Gayatri, you've got a fantastic place here. Like, these tables, the chairs are really fabulous. So to execute this, you need a really good team. So what are the kind of people you have in your team?
Yeah, absolutely. You need like a very strong team to get to this and to understand what we are trying to communicate. So currently we have a set of carpenters who work with us, and they are our employees, and they really understand us, and they're very patient, and they sit with us, and they take the pains to understand the drawings that we make, and they say no very rarely, and that that's a very important thing, because when we initially started out, we actually we were getting some of it made through third-party vendors, and we faced a lot of challenges. Like for instance, we had this one extremely big order that we were in the middle of, and this guy, the work had started, the drawings were already out, and like a couple of weeks before, this guy stops taking my calls. And so I get really tensed and worried, like, why is this happening? So finally his brother calls me, and he's like, ma'am, the work is stopped because he's upset with the world that he's not getting married. And I was like, okay, this is not the kind of problem that I should be having right now. And I think that is also one of the main reasons that we decided to set up our own studio and our own factory. And so since then things have been much more smoother, and of course it's a lot of learning, because when you set up your own factory, you see a lot of other problems that you've never faced before. But luckily, after a year after doing this, we are at a place where things are functioning smoothly. And other than the carpenters, we also have 2 designers who work with us, and so they take care of making the drawings and getting things out on time. And currently customer interaction is mostly through me, because we're still a very young studio. But yeah, I think they're also getting there slowly.
Yeah, so Gayatri, what are those few projects that are really close to your heart?
So in terms of furniture custom designing projects, there is a table set that we made for an Iranian client that's really close to our hearts. So she came to us with a panel, a door from her existing house here in India, and she was moving back, shifting out of India, and she wanted to take back something that reminds her of her stay here, and so that's how this whole project came about. So she came to us with one hand-painted door panel, which we used as a central inlay for a dining table we crafted. So the entire design philosophy revolved around this panel that she had, and the whole process was driven by it. And so yeah, we ended up designing a dining set, a complete dining set with this hand-painted panel as the inlay. So that's one of my favorite projects. Talking about architecture and interior, there is a project that we recently completed, the Gilani Residence. So we worked on this project for 2 years, and it was one of those projects where we've given our all. So we've done architecture, interiors, and furniture. So like the whole package. So again, this residence is located in Bangalore, in Koramangala, and the fun part about this was that, something that we all look at when we design is that we want a plot that has, a view or vistas to kind of bring into the space. So luckily for us, there was a park that was on the north face of the plot. So we brought in the entire park view. The main apartment is on the 3rd and 4th floor. So we brought in the entire park view into the space, by means of bay windows. So we've got a lot of interesting fenestrations at different levels. So we've got like double heights wherein, both the spaces have windows coming inside. So yeah, I think this was an interesting project that we just finished, and something that I think would always be very important to me, because this is the first project where we did all three together. So we did architecture, interiors, and custom furniture. It's like an entire RNA work. So yeah.
Yeah, with the COVID-19 crisis and this whole situation, I think what we are seeing is every space is becoming multifunctional, and it's being used for things that they were not designed for. So during this, how are you trying to adapt your designs, or do you have any future plans to look into this?
So ever since we got back into production, we have been receiving a lot of requests for customized study tables, and multifunctionality is something that we have always kind of focused on, because we believe that a space should not be, though we customize it to the T, there should always be some leeway for it to be more, right? Like when we design bedrooms, in most cases we forget to like put a desk there, which can just be to, write a letter. Maybe because, we've stopped writing letters, or, we've stopped writing per se, that we miss out the need for a desk. But yeah, so we've been getting a lot of inquiries for custom study tables now, because it's not something that you can just buy out and fit into the space that you have, because those spaces were not designed for it to have those kind of big tables. So I think that is one thing that we are also focusing on currently, to be able to provide pieces that are that works well in any kind of space, any kind of in terms of sizes. So I think their customization comes really in handy, and I think that's why people have been approaching us now. And yeah, we love to customize, and that's what we are good at, right? So we understand your space, and we get back to you with what works for your space. So yeah, I think in a way, COVID has kind of pushed people to looking closer at what we do.
So Gayatri, I came across this design craft affair, something very interesting on your website. I want to know what it is from you.
So the design craft affair is something that we started with a lot of hope, and it's something that's really close to our heart. So design craft affair is I wouldn't say it's a competition. It's an opportunity for young designers out there to get to come to us with designs that we will help them execute. So because of the fact that we can't make many of them, we would be shortlisting the best ones and getting it done for them. The main reason why we are doing this is because when we started out, trying to get our things made, so we had this vision that, okay, we want to customize furniture. we didn't know where exactly to go. I mean, we can go to carpenters and try to get them on board, but the thing is, almost never will they be as into it as you are, because they may not really get the vision that you are going after. So, and that can be very deterring, especially for young people who are trying to get things done, and not finding the right resource. So we want to be able to be that resource, for young designers who want to get things made, especially furniture, because that's what we specialize in. And so just help people craft. So you do the design part, we do the crafting part. So that's what we are trying to do through the design craft affair. So it's almost like a love affair between design and craft. So that's what we're trying to do through that.
So Gayatri, you're located in Bangalore, and for sure you're doing a lot of projects in Bangalore. So are you doing projects across the country as well?
Yes, so we are located in Bangalore, but we do projects in Kerala. We've actually worked with other architects in Kerala, and we have also done a cafe project in Chennai. There we've done furniture and interior styling. So yes, we work across different parts of India currently, and we are also in talks with an interior project in Mumbai. So, it's not just Bangalore that we are limited to. And in terms of furniture, we do furniture and furniture layout, like a spatial planning that we do. So that can be done for anyone across India, because if you send across your plans to us, we can design it, we can craft it and send it anywhere, in India. So far, anywhere in India, yeah.
Okay, so we at this chai or coffee show believe in staying inspired and inspiring others. So do you have any inspiring story to share with our viewers and the young designers out there?
I did architecture for 5 years in architecture college, and then practiced it for 3 more years. So making the shift into furniture designing was quite I thought a lot about it, and I kept wondering if it's the right thing for me to do, because furniture was a passion for me, and architecture is like it's all over me. I really love it. So I really thought a lot about it, and something that my mentor told me came back to me. He once told me that do not compartmentalize design into furniture, architecture, product. It's not meant to be that way. You have to look at it as a holistic overall approach. So that's, I think, something that really helped me make this decision. Of course, I had a lot of support from my family. They said, go for it, give it a shot. If you're really passionate about it, do it. And that's one thing that I would like to tell everybody. At the end of the day, do what makes sense to you and what is your real passion. It doesn't have to be that, okay, I studied this. You can be an engineer who is working at a construction site, but who's really interested in photography. So it has to be what you're passionate about, and keep working hard. Like when I first started out, as I said, I've had troubles convincing people that in believing what I believe in, and getting the product made. So you keep at it. You'll fall many times. There'll be many things that are thrown your way that are unexpected, but I think you have to power through. And we're still powering through. Every day is learning for us. So yeah, I think that's what I have to tell you. Yeah.
So this was the design dialogue with the Anna Design Studio. We will be back with more of such dialogues. If you haven't subscribed our channel yet, do subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you get notified when we are online. See you soon, and until then, take care.